Imagine a small group of young founders working on a struggling startup at the edge of collapse and unknowingly creating one of the most powerful networks in Silicon Valley history. This is the story of the PayPal Mafia, a nickname given to a handful of early PayPal employees who went on to build, fund, and influence some of the biggest technology companies in the world. In the late 1990s, PayPal wasn't the giant success story we know today. It was chaotic, risky, and constantly battling fraud, competition, and technical problems. But inside that pressure cooker was an unusual concentration of talent. Brilliant engineers, aggressive problem solvers, and highly ambitious entrepreneurs. They weren't just building a payments company, they were learning how to survive in one of the most brutal environments imaginable. When PayPal was finally acquired by eBay in 2002, many employees suddenly became wealthy, but instead of retiring or fading into comfort, several of them used their experience, capital, and connections to launch entirely new ventures. That's when the legend of the PayPal Mafia truly began. Take Elon Musk. Before becoming synonymous with electric cars and space travel, he was deeply involved in PayPal's early days. After PayPal, he would go on to lead Tesla, SpaceX, and multiple other companies that reshaped entire industries. Then there's Peter Thiel, PayPal's co-founder, who later became one of Silicon Valley's most influential investors. He was the first outside investor in Facebook and played a major role in shaping the venture capital ecosystem. Reid Hoffman, another PayPal alumnus, co-founded LinkedIn, transforming professional networking forever. Max Levchin helped create Yelp. Chad Hurley, Steve Chen, and Joanne Karim went on to build YouTube, and this is only a fraction of the names associated with the network. But what makes the PayPal Mafia fascinating isn't just individual success, it's how interconnected their journeys became. These founders didn't simply build companies, they invested in each other, advised each other, hired each other, and sometimes competed with each other. Their relationships formed an invisible web of influence stretching across the tech world. This network effect created something extremely powerful. When one member succeeded, others often benefited. Access to funding became easier. Talent flowed within the circle. New ideas spread faster. In many ways, the PayPal Mafia became a multiplier of opportunity. Silicon Valley has always valued connections, but the PayPal Mafia represents an extreme example of how tight-knit networks can shape entire industries. Startups founded or funded by former PayPal employees have collectively been worth trillions of dollars. Their decisions influenced everything from social media and online video to electric vehicles and artificial intelligence. There's also a deeper lesson hidden in this story. PayPal itself was not a smooth success. It was messy, stressful, and full of near failures. Yet that very struggle forged resilient founders. They learned how to handle uncertainty, scale technology, fight competitors, and make high-stakes decisions. The company became less of a destination and more of a training ground for future giants. Some critics argue that such elite networks concentrate too much power in too few hands. When the same group repeatedly funds and shapes new companies, it can influence which ideas succeed and which never get a chance. Others see it as a natural outcome of merit, trust, and shared experience, people backing those they know and respect. Regardless of perspective, the PayPal Mafia reveals an important truth about the startup world. Success is rarely isolated. Behind many iconic companies are layers of mentorship, capital, timing, and relationships that outsiders never see. It also challenges the myth of the lone genius entrepreneur. Many of Silicon Valley's biggest breakthroughs were driven by communities of builders, not just individuals. PayPal happened to assemble one of the unusually influential communities ever formed. Today, the PayPal Mafia's impact continues. Their members are still investing, launching ventures, shaping policies, and redefining industries. Their story has become part of tech folklore, a reminder that sometimes the most powerful companies aren't just those that dominate markets, but those that quietly produce generations of leaders. And perhaps the most intriguing part, at the time, none of them knew they were creating a mafia. They were simply colleagues trying to build a company, solve problems, and survive a volatile startup. Yet from that single origin emerged a network that helped redefine modern technology, proving that in Silicon Valley, the relationships you build can be just as important as the products you create.